Alright, today I'm talking about the new Solar ACS series, the ACS1.6FRW. I saw this was announced and is up for pre-order at the time of recording this video. And I gotta say, this video is not sponsored. I'm just a fan of Solar. It's one of the brands I like. And I think the Solar AC body is pretty cool. So I'm really excited to talk about this guitar. Let's dive into the specs of the guitar first. It's got all the specs you'd expect from a 1 series Solar guitar. It's got a set-in neck which gives you unimpeded fret access. Here's what that would look like. It's got stainless steel frets for durability and smoothness. It has an alder body, and I've noticed the alder that Solar uses does tend to be on the heavier side. The neck thickness is 20 millimeters at the 1st fret and 22 millimeters at the 12th fret. Not the slimmest out there, but it's not exactly thick either. The nut width is 43 millimeters. And it's got a 350 millimeter fretboard radius, or 13.78 inches. That fretboard radius is on other Solar guitars like this A1.6, and it feels like it's the perfect balance, the perfect compromise between round and flat for Solar's target audience, you know, the heavier stuff. Hard rock, metal. Not saying you can't play some sweet blues on these. The fretboard material is ebony wood. This is my favorite fretboard material. I love how smooth it feels when you're digging in for some bends or doing some intense vibrato. Of course, it looks cool too. The bridge is the Gotoh 1996 big block, very nice. And what I really appreciate is that this guitar has noise silencing trem springs. That is fantastic. I shove tissues behind the trem springs on my floating bridge guitars to stop the sympathetic vibrations. It really helps with cleaning up recording. It eliminates potential ringing, so this is a fantastic feature. The pickups are the Duncan Solar bridge and rails. Just like on this AB 1.6FR Desert Rose, yes, I'm saying the full model names in case you're curious what these are, but these have worked really well in my mixes, these pickups. The guitar has locking tuners, which I'm personally a fan of. I know it has a floating bridge and a locking nut, but when you're changing strings, it really helps. There's no possible way for the string to slip, and I know there's a way you can wrap the string around the post so that it locks it in place, and that works fairly well. I find the locking tuner works just a little bit better. If you're not a fan of locking tuners, you know, fair enough. These are tools to make music, and it's important you find the right tool for you. Personally, I think, though, this is a good feature. So another reason why I wanted to talk about this guitar is because it has some similarities to my RGA622XH, mainly the 27 frets, and then we've got the rails pickup. So you do notice that the neck pickup being more closer to the bridge, it doesn't completely sound like a full humbucker or even a rails pickup next to the 24th fret. It's going to sound just a little bit different, but it's still going to sound like a neck pickup. Non-guitarists and even guitarists who are listening to your recorded song or hearing you play live, they're not going to really hear too much of a difference. You as the player are going to hear the biggest difference. So if it really matters to you that you need to have a certain neck pickup sound and the neck pickup has to be in a specific place, then that might be something that always annoys you just a little bit. It doesn't annoy me, but it might annoy you. The upper fret access, though, is really nice if you play down tune, but you still want the higher range. This guitar is in drop C, and yet because it has 27 frets, I have a half step more range on the higher end than a 22 fretted guitar in standard tuning. The few times I've needed the high E and F, it's been pretty nice. But that's getting really high up on the neck. It does start to kind of sound like an octave effect, if that makes any sense. The main advantage of having 27 frets isn't having 27 frets. It's that the 24th, 23rd, 22nd frets are much more easily accessible. With a guitar designed to go up this high, it's going to be easier to hit those high frets in general. Just like how on a 24 fretted guitar, it's easier to hit the 22nd fret versus something like a Telecaster. A lot of those don't even have 22 frets. I do love me a good Telecaster though. But the point is, even if you're not interested in going all the way up to the 27th fret, it makes it still easier to go to the 24th fret. And if you're playing a lot in that kind of area of the fretboard, then this would be worth considering. Now, talking about the AC guitars, the body shape, it is that carved top. It does end in this kind of edge right here. It's not sharp. They do kind of sand it a little bit. It's not going to bite into your skin. But if you're expecting something like an arch top, like if you're coming from an RGA or S from Ibanez or some other guitar with an arch top, it's going to be a bit different. You know how Les Pauls kind of are like this too, although the body isn't nearly as thick as a Les Paul. So this is fairly comfortable. It's fairly slim. It's not going to really bother you too much unless you really, really care about the guitar having an edge like this. But if you're used to playing less comfortable guitars like a Telecaster, then this is going to feel fantastic. Now the controls, layout, the volume, the tone, the pickup selector switch, they are nice. They don't get in the way. I personally prefer blade switches for pickup selector switches, but the toggle switch is big enough that it pretty much feels like a blade switch. Overall, I think this guitar is pretty cool. It's great that they're releasing this. It's great that there's more options. There's a wide variety of Solars available. The necks are very playable. I think this kind of 27 fretted guitar in combination with the floating bridge is a good idea. I think those shredders who like one of those things tend to like the other two, excluding the players who want to have a different neck pickup, like a humbucker near the 24th fret or 22nd fret. Obviously, this guitar wouldn't be for them. But hey, I'm no sales expert. What do you think? Do you think this is a really cool new model? Is it a pass for you? Let me know down in the comments below. Of course, this is YouTube, so I have to say the YouTube things, all right? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, print out every frame and mail it. And if you're looking for something cool to listen to, I'm on all major streaming services, Hazy Productions. As always, peace.